But in the coming days, more attention will be placed on the disabled in our communities. Here again is Jimanita Swain.
Disability Awareness Week, and attention is being placed on providing more assistance for those who are challenged. In studio with us this morning is Kendrick Roll. Good morning, Mr. Roll, and of course, welcome to the morning edition.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here.
So tell us more about the challenges that persons in the disabled community face locally.
Well, the main challenges faced by persons with disabilities local are mostly employment, transportation issues, and the disrespect we have with persons parking in the spots that are clearly marked for persons with disabilities. Accessibility to certain venues is also a challenge, but with the passage of the Act as it is being revisited now, we're sure that those measures will be put in place after the law will be enforced more in the days ahead.
Now, I know, as you mentioned rightly, persons that do park in the disabled spaces, that seems to be very disrespectful, I would imagine, especially, for instance, I had an instance where I sprained my ankle, so I kind of couldn't walk far distances, and even though that was the case, I know that my vehicle was not clearly marked with the sticker, but I see that persons do it all the time, and they pay no regard to it. So what do you say to those persons on bearing in mind the importance of why that's in place?
Well, they need to sympathize with persons with disability, realizing that when you park in those spaces, you're making it much difficult for a person with a disability to be able to conduct business or participate in regular life, because they need that space to be able to move more freely. You know, a well-able-bodied person can easily park further away and walk. A person in a wheelchair or with a limb difference, that's very painful and difficult for them to maintain. So let's have more sympathy towards them. But they can rest assured that in the days ahead, when the inspectors are in place, the laws will be enforced and heavy fines will be put in place for those persons who disrespect those parking spaces, parking them without the necessary decal. Now, like a person like yourself who would have had a temporary injury, you realize that you could have gotten a temporary decal for.
Well, I was not aware of that. Yes. Now that you pointed out, I guess that's something that you could advise other persons on who may not know that.
Yes, you can get it for a short time period, because we do understand that, you know, during that period you would be facing the challenges that a person with disability have. So you would need the access to a disabled parking. However, when the time is up, you must return to your regular life and movement as a person with a disability wouldn't be able to.
Now, one of the things, obviously, this is Disability Awareness Week. You want to talk to us about some of the activities that is planned this week to mark the occasion?
Well, this week was a full event week. It started off on Sunday with a walk and wheel in solidarity, where we had persons with disability take a nice brief exercise walk from Malcolm Park to our quay. We had our One Love Unity celebration on December 3rd. That was a concert rally featuring all the special needs schools and other persons with disabilities on stage. And as the week continues, there'll be a number of awareness activities and also fundraising initiatives, including the dinner jollification extravaganza at the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas on Friday evening. That's going to be a full fashion show featuring the talents of persons with disabilities. On Saturday morning, there's going to be the basketball and bocce tournament, a special church service at the Philadelphia Seventh-day Adventist Church in Elizabeth Estate. And Saturday evening is going to close out with a Dine in the Dark initiative. That's a fundraising initiative to bring greater awareness to blindness and to assist persons in the community of being blind.
Now, as a person with a disability, share with us what public awareness you would like specifically to promote during this week for persons to keep in mind.
Well, as a person who is blind, I would like the general public to pay attention or take notice of blind persons trying to move about with their white canes. It is a tool to identify a blind person, and is also used for mobility and safe independent travel. There are a lot of motorists out there who do not respect the white cane, or probably who do not know or understand the importance of the white cane, and they need to be educated. The education is available by contacting the Bahamas Alliance for the Blind, or it should also be available at the Ministry of Transport. But that white cane is very important, and it also shows the independence of a blind person just trying to participate in regular day life. So that is my personal plight, that transportation is always a challenge for persons with disabilities, blind persons in particular. So we need the general public to just be aware of the cane and realizing that the persons are just trying to move freely about the place independently and safely.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Rule. As you mentioned, a number of activities planned for this week during the Disability Awareness Week. Thank you so much for joining us on the morning edition.
Thank you for having me.